Welcome back to another one. That's over my shoulder. You're seeing a little bit of last year's year in review. So it's time again. We're at the end of the year, so we're gonna run through. I just wanted to touch base with you guys, show you guys what we've been doing for the year, how much we've actually accomplished and got done this year. As I'm running through, like, I do so much that I don't always realize how much I'm doing. So it's kind of funny this year alone, and again, we're gonna start this off right. I should have just started off saying, hey, good morning. This is we're still not sponsored. You guys, if you know somebody, like, I actually have had a couple comments from people saying who it belongs to and everything else. But anyways, let's get started. So, you guys, welcome back to another one. Like I was saying, we do so much through the year. I go to so many events and everything else that sometimes I even forget what I've been to, or how good something really was. So, end of the year, I like to do this end of the year review, kind of show you guys what we accomplished this year. So I was running through, and what's funny is this year I'm gonna probably have almost 150 videos that I've dropped for you guys, and that's coverage across the US, a couple trips to Japan this year. Really, it's been a busy year. So like I said, I just wanted to take a little time, look back on things, and show you everything from the Cars and Coffee events that I would attend in SoCal to now the Cars and Coffee events here on the East Coast. It's been a great year. I've seen a ton of just super interesting cars. That's Mr. McRib 47. Just distracting. Anyways, I've seen so many good cars this year. Met so many good people, interesting people, talked with so many people this year, and I just kind of wanted to go through and show you guys. I'm going to start off with a couple videos. What we'll do is we'll talk about a little bit. I'll jump into a video. We'll show you a little bit, and then I'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more. But let's get into things. I wanted to start things off with what I think is one of the most important things, and that's the people, friends, and really just getting to hang out. So, you guys, let me know what you think. Hang out. We're gonna go through a whole bunch of stuff that we look back at over this last year. So, you guys, let me know what you think, and let's have some fun. Welcome back to another one. I thought I was done for the year. I thought that was it, and we had this pop-up barbecue meet, and I had to come out for you guys. All right, it wasn't just for you guys, it was for me too, because this out here is absolutely my favorite thing. Okay, you come out, you hang out with friends, you have a barbecue, you have good cars come out. I mean, you see the ones that, what do we just have down the line? Yeah, a couple NSXs, a couple S2000s. Like, this of everything is what I really, really enjoy. I love doing the big shows. I love traveling. Besides Japan, this is probably my most favorite. So. All right, guys. So like I was saying, it's not just about the cars. I love the cars, but I really enjoy meeting interesting people. I enjoy talking with them, and getting kind of their feel of things, why they're into cars, what they're into, why they do something a specific way. They build their car the way they build it, and so on. So you guys have seen I've added car reviews, owner interviews, podcasts, stuff like that. So that's one of the big things I enjoy. And the cars without the people, yeah, they look cool, but really it's the people, and the people that are behind the cars that I think are what makes them even more interesting. So that's one of my things. Like I said, it's the friends you make, it's the people you get to interact with, and on top of that, you get a bunch of cool cars. So keeping it moving. Sorry, but as we move through the beginning of every year, starts off with I don't know, it for me. January always sets the tone for that up and coming year. And the reason it does that is because in January, we do Tokyo Auto Salon. It's always around the second week of January, and that week of Tokyo Auto Salon is absolutely insane. Now, Tokyo Auto Salon is, I don't know, it's that whole week is just the coolest thing for me. You get to do the auto salon itself, which is incredible. You get to go to underground meets. You get to do shop tours. I mean, it's kind of everything that that is involved in that week. So I've been lucky enough the last couple of years. I've been able to take some other people with me that also get to enjoy that. Which again, it's about the people. It's about everybody else. It's about you guys. So I've had more than a handful of viewers reach out and DM me on IG, asking questions about Japan, asking questions about importing cars. And for any of you guys that have done that, I love to talk to you. I do my best to help you out with those things. If you're going to Japan, I do my best to try and give you locations, links, all that kind of stuff, so that you can enjoy it as much as I do when I go. Tokyo Auto Salon Week is, like I said, full of just craziness. It's not just the show itself. It's time attack events. Again, it's the shop tours. For me, one of the things I love that I get to rent a car and just go out. I get to enjoy the countryside. I get to enjoy the mountain, the toge roads. Get to drive the initial D locations, or in the newer series, the MF Ghost locations. So again, one of the things I love, I think January and the Tokyo Auto Salon Week definitely sets that tone for the entire year, and I definitely look forward to it all year. So lucky enough, I was able to go to Japan twice this last year. But for the week of Tokyo Auto Salon, let's take a quick look. Let me show you some of that craziness, and you guys let me know what you think. guys, so for this year I was able to take 2 trips to Japan. The second trip was during Golden Week, which is like the end of April through the beginning of May. It's also when wekfest and the Dori Dori Festival take place. Attending both of those events was really just such an honor for me. The quality, the quality that goes, of workmanship and everything else that goes into these cars is really just second to none. It's super incredible. So, then the very next day after wekfest was Dori Dori, and those cars some of the cars I had saw at wekfest that were beautiful, again, just absolutely gorgeous cars, were then taken to the drift festival and ripped on, absolutely ripped on, which was incredible to me. To see these cars that really were pristine cars taken out and just run through. I mean, they took them out on the Toge course, they took them through the main course, they were just hanging them out full throttle, off the limiter and everything else, and really just an incredible sight to see. So my second trip to Japan, of course, was full of the same fun and, you know, all different rental cars and everything else. So you guys let me know what you think. I'll show you some of that, and Alright guys, so for you guys that have been with me for a while, you know I love going to all the local cars and coffee events. And in SoCal, there's no shortage of these. Every weekend I'd probably be able to select from 4 to 8, sometimes even more, different, you know, car events, cars and coffee events, open houses, you know, shops, all that kind of stuff. And my whole goal was to try and hit every single one of them I could and bring as much of the car culture to you guys that I could from SoCal. So while I was in SoCal, that's what I tried to do. So all the big events, there were a lot of like monthly cars and coffee events, and those were ones that I tried to never miss. You know, we had like Sunday Steel, which thankfully is coming back. You had Sunkay Blue. Brecky would put on some incredible ones. State of Speed. All Makes. There were so many that I enjoyed going to. And I did my best to try and go to all of them and bring them all to you so you guys could enjoy. For any of you guys that missed it, let's take a look. I'll show you some of those, and we'll keep having fun. Alright guys, so now this isn't all inclusive. It's definitely not at all. But for those of you that ask or comment, yes, SoCal has some of the best built Hondas I've ever seen. And I'm not saying other areas, other places don't. I'm not saying that the West Coast completely beats the East Coast on all things. That's not what I'm getting. So now, before everybody comments, SoCal, the West Coast, is not the only one that can do Hondas, okay? So my trips to Japan, again, Japan is my home of, you know, the inspiration for Hondas and really all the JDM cars, I think would be fair to say. But Japan just builds some super cool cars. And it's definitely not only my inspiration, but again, inspiration, you know, for a lot here in the US. Now, Japan they can build some clean OEM plus cars. They can build super clean race cars. I guess I could say down and dirty race cars too, but like even those, like in my opinion, are super clean. It's just attention to detail and everything else they do. Now, the East. The East does has a lock on drag Hondas. Okay, again, they're not the only place that can build a drag Honda, but the East has that on lock. Okay, what I think would be the most epic is if we could somehow just get everybody together. I know it's not possible, but like if we could all meet in Texas or something and just, you know, have somebody that puts together an event and brings everybody out from the East Coast, brings everybody out from the Midwest, brings them from Texas, everything else, and just has this huge, gigantic get together, that would be incredible. I would love to see just rows upon rows, lines upon lines of just all different types of Honda builds. You know, it could be, you know, a set over here of the OEM Plus. It could be a set over here of, you know, the drags, everything. You know, they're built so many different ways, and it's so cool to see everybody's interpretation of the way they want to build them. Whether or not they even want to stance them out, air them out, you know. We saw a CRX with a J-swap and twin turbos at the Toyo Tread Pass booth. You know, just it would be incredible to get them all in one place. So, SoCal. Here's some fun Honda meets. And again, I really enjoy the Honda meets both on the East and the West Coast, but let's get in it. Let me show you some from SoCal, and you guys drop those comments and let me know what you think. All right, so I know I'm gonna get a ton of comments on that, but what'd you guys think? Really, the Honda events in SoCal, I enjoyed so much. Whether it be, you know, Doghouse Garage, you know, Joey from the Chronicles, NWP, ELDS. There were so many good groups. S2000 fam guys and girls. You know, there were just so many really fun events and great people that I got to hang out with. It really was just it's so much fun. You guys know how much fun I have doing that stuff. Now, the other thing I've really just enjoyed and had, you know, again, that honor of being able to do is the car reviews and the car interviews. So luckily this year I was able to get a handful of, you know, owner interviews and car reviews to get done. Everything from, you know, the older, you know, EGs, DAs, S2000s with K-swaps, MR2s, all the way through like the newer generation of the FL5, the GR86. And I really enjoy doing those. I really enjoy getting, again, to talk to the people behind the builds. So, you guys, let's take a look at that and let me know. All right, guys, so it's not all just cars and coffee events. We also have big events that I love going to. I love being able to share with you. Some of the big events, of course, like wekfest, Spocom, How to Import Nights, Tuner Evo, the USDM meet. There's so many really good ones. This year I was lucky enough that I was able to go to this 90s golden era one up in Seattle. That was incredible. Had a huge turnout day before wekfest Seattle. So that was like a bonus for me. I definitely, you know, it was great to be able to share that with you guys too. But outside of Tokyo Auto Salon, the other big one that I try and go to every year and bring to you guys is SEMA. And as far as I can tell, you guys have enjoyed it. The couple SEMA videos that I put out, I've been doing, you know, I've been getting a ton of views. So thank you guys. As always, thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments and everything else. I really do enjoy bringing this stuff to you. You guys, let me know what you think. We'll hit some of those big events, and then when we come back, we'll start talking about the East Coast. All right, guys. So as you can see, the East Coast definitely has a lot to offer. Cars and coffee events, everything else. Really, the only difference I really find is I have to travel more to them. In SoCal was so like condensed and close together that, you know, you could even hit 2 or 3 cars and coffee events in the same morning sometimes. Out here on the East Coast, spread out. I can hit really solid cars and coffee events in each state. So it does take a little bit more travel, but there's, again, a ton of great cars, a ton of great people, and plenty to see. So I really enjoy bringing that to you guys. You guys, let me know what you think about the cars and coffee events out here on the East Coast. And then what I wanted to get into, and like what I was saying before, was, you know, again, it's been nothing but love out here. I've been able to do a handful of open houses, shop tours, and as I'm not sure if you guys saw or not, but if you haven't, I started doing podcasts, and we're gonna keep doing those. I really enjoy doing them. Again, I enjoy the people behind these, all these great builds, and you know, if it's an open house that does everything from electronics to custom builds to everything else, it's interesting to get their point of view. And you know, as you guys saw on the podcast, we talked with a group that's been doing car shows, and they're in that show car scene, and they've been doing it forever. They're one of the top names in, you know, out here on the East Coast. So it's definitely something that's interesting. Now, the East Coast isn't without their big events too. And so far I've been lucky enough that I've been able to pick up a couple really good Honda ones, like a Honda Fest, the USDM meet. Of course we did Wekfest in New Jersey, had to, right? And show you the quality of the cars that were brought out for that. Now, some of the other big events that I was able to attend was like Pit and Paddock. They did a group collab with Turn 14, which I thought was going to be more like a cars and coffee event. I show up and there's a good couple hundred cars there, and everything was great. It really did seem like they were hand picking cars and putting cars, you know, and doing it that way, which is fine. I don't have a problem. They had more than enough parking for everybody, but the quality of the cars that came out was really, really good. So let's get into that. Let me show you a couple of the big events from out here on the East Coast, and then we'll talk about an event that, again, it's kind of like Tokyo Auto Salon for me. I look forward to this event every year, and that group that put on that event, I was able to go to another one that they put on, and that's going to be another one of my favorites for the year. So let's take a look at a couple big events, and then when we get back, we'll talk about Honda Collective and the grassroots meet that we went to. So 2, which was initially one of one of my favorite, one of the meets I look forward to like all year. Again, I have a couple like Tokyo Auto Salon and everything else that, you know, I 100% look forward to. There was always one more, and last year was the first year I got to do it. So this year I couldn't wait, and then I find out that they hold another event, part of the same group, and that event was just as much as incredible as the other event, but in a different way. So yeah, if you guys don't know, like I said, the first one is the Honda Collective. The Honda Collective is held once a year. It's held up in the New Jersey, New York area, and I was able to do this last year, and it's just so incredible to me that like the locations that they choose, the cars that come out. We start off in New Jersey, we go through a couple places in New York, and for me, it's one of the most epic locations where I get to shoot photos. I get to shoot arguably some of the greatest Hondas I get to see. Okay, and again, this is one of those groups where I would love to be able to get them together with the SoCal guys and girls, and just get everybody together, because the quality of these cars is insane. So the one is Honda Collective, and they put together just an absolutely awesome day, because I don't even want to call it a meet, or it is an event, but we go to multiple locations, we set up at each location, we hang out, we chill, we talk with and then they kind of set the cars up so we can shoot them and everything else. And you know, that one spot we go to in New York, that has got to be the most epic location to be able to shoot. I absolutely love it. And like I said, that's one of the locations I look forward, or it's not just about the location, it's the people too. And I meet just great people each time, last year and this year. So that's the one event, again, I look forward to all year. And then this year, I was able to also attend what they call their grassroots event. I missed the earlier one in the year. The earlier one in the year, I wasn't out here on the East Coast. Next year, I've already got it in my books that I'm going to do it. So I thought it was just going to be like, oh, hey, come out. And it's like kind of an oversized cars and coffee event. I get out there, and it is just, it's not even like a football field. It is a park. And they lay everybody out. There's hundreds of cars that come out. It's all hand-picked. It was amazing. So now that's an add-on that's something I'm going to have to do every year for you guys, because the cars that come out are just absolutely incredible. Again, the people are incredible. So those two events, you know, I have to thank the hosts, because they do an incredible. You guys can see down below. I'll do my best to list all the different events, the people, the venues, all of that kind of stuff. And if not, you can always catch it in the original video, and I make sure and link those down in those videos too. So let's take a quick look at the Honda Collective and the grassroots event from this year, and you guys let me know what you think. All right, guys. So I think I'll close it out with talking about my new project, the EK9. I am super excited about this car and about this project. And you guys have been the same in your comments and everything else. Really, thank you. You've been super supportive of me. The EK9 has been one of those cars that I've always wanted. And now that I'm getting the opportunity to kind of go through those classic JDM, those right-hand drive cars, this one I'm just super excited about. So if you guys haven't seen my other videos, if you guys have, you guys know I've been collecting parts. I started putting some parts on from Japan. You know, it's definitely going to be that OEM plus-ish type of build, and we're going to have a ton of fun with it. So I think I'll close out this year. I'll show you a couple clips of the EK9, and then next year we're going to continue this project. I'm going to continue going out doing cars and coffee events, doing owner interviews, doing car reviews, traveling to Japan, and you know, everywhere else I can for you guys. So as always, thank you for your support. Thank you for helping me to continue to grow this channel. The more we grow, the more I get to bring you guys. So hopefully get to the point where I can do this full time for you, and then at that point we're gonna run it. I'll put it this way for you guys. If I cross over and start doing this full time, it'll be Monday through Friday for you, and I'll drop you all different types of videos for everything, being car reviews, interviews, just travel, all different locations, cars and coffee events, big events, all of that. If we do this full time and you guys can help me grow this to full time, we'll do that on Monday through Friday for you, and we'll just have fun every single day. So you guys, again, thank you for all your support. Thank you for helping me grow this channel. I'll see you guys at the next one, and that's it. All right, thanks guys.